Have you finished your myofunctional therapy training but still don't know how to start your business? Are you tired of waiting for clients, stuck in a job that's become your safety net, or letting perfectionism and fear keep you from taking action? I totally get it, my friend, because I've been there. Hey, if we haven't met, I'm Carmen, a recovering dental hygienist who left burnout and back pain behind to build $1 million myofunctional therapy practice. But when I started, I had no idea how to get clients or run a business. Nobody taught that part in my program, so I had to figure it out one simple strategy, system, and step at a time, and now I teach others to do the same. If you're ready to turn your training into a profitable, freedom-filled business with clear systems, steady clients, and predictable income, then I invite you to join us inside the Profitable Myofunctional Therapist Facebook community. You'll get tactical tools, real-life strategies, workshops, and support to help you stop overthinking and start growing with confidence. Wherever you're listening, find the link and join us today. Now, back to the show. I recently attended a marketing workshop and she was talking about self-care and discipline. And man, she was saying some things that made me feel like she was literally talking to me, because I haven't always been the best at honoring my word to myself. I will keep my word to everybody else, but sometimes it's myself that I let down first. So if this perks your ears up, you're going to want to listen to this episode. If you're a burned out, bored dental hygienist who knows that you can't do this forever, or you've already taken myofunctional therapy training but feel stuck on how to actually start, grow, or simplify your business, welcome, my friend. You're in the right place. I'm Carmen, a dental hygienist who once sat exactly where you are, overworked, physically tired, mentally done, knowing that there had to be more, and wanting the fastest, simplest, most organized path forward with someone holding my hand along the way. This podcast is for women who don't want more information. They want transformation. They want clarity, consistent clients, predictable income without building a business that takes over their life. They also want support while they do it. So if you're ready to stop spinning, start moving, and finally make sense of what comes next, grab your coffee and your courage, my friend. Let's build a business that works for your life, not one that runs it, so that you can build a life that you're genuinely bonkers about, because that's my superpower. Hello, my friend, and welcome back to the episode. Fun fact, I am not in my podcast studio, this is the fun part about podcasting that I really am enjoying is, aside from being away from my podcasting studio and my equipment, I am literally sitting in a recliner in the corner of my daughter's bedroom with my headset while the grandkids are still in school, have one more episode to get recorded. So I am coming in, and this one is going to be just a little bit short and sweet and peppy and motivating. I am not teaching a framework. More than anything, if I am talking to you, you are going to feel it in your bones all the way down to your sneakers. And I hope that it's a little kick in the pants. So recently, I was attending a marketing workshop by one of my mentors, and she said something about self-care and discipline. I am a dental hygienist. I am a type A plus personality, and I have always considered myself to be somebody who is disciplined. But it was interesting when she was talking about it, because she said self-care is honoring your commitment and your words to yourself, and discipline is discerning about what the next best step towards whatever the goal is. And that was Jasmine Star that said that, and it just kind of hit me a little bit sideways. So let me use a personal example, and then we'll talk about why I'm talking to you about this. So remember in episode 51, I talked about the life wheel and how I evaluate. I evaluated 2025. I look at the scores from those 8 categories to inform my goals for 2026. Okay. Being an entrepreneur, being in business, there are more goals than just, keeping beanie weenies on the table. So when I did that evaluation last year, my health was a 2. And last year was, I would say, the most amazing year that I have had in a long time, on all fronts, okay, not just financially. So I was really bummed when I evaluated the life wheel and I did those scores, and they were all very high except health was a 2. So that had really shown me that, wow, I thought that I was taking good care of myself and I thought I was being disciplined, but obviously I wasn't. So for 2026, I had to make health a priority so that I can get that 2 ship shaped up to something better. I doubt it'll ever be a 10, but I want to get it improved. So I had to make health a priority this year. And this means things like exercise, meal prep, eating, whole food, healthy cooked meals, um, that is on my calendar. So when I think of self-care, I used to think that that was getting a massage. And when Jasmine said that it is honoring the commitment and keeping the word to myself, it really hit home because what's interesting is my word for the year 2026 is honor, and on several different fronts, one of those being honoring my calendar, honoring myself, honoring the commitments to myself. So it was interesting that this landed on my ears. Now the discipline part comes into play by using discipline to choose the next step forward on my goal. So if I'm honoring my commitment to have a smaller size of jeans, then I'm practicing discipline by deciding that the next best step towards that goal is to eat protein first at every meal and make sure that I get 40 to 50 grams per meal. So I hope that makes sense. The reason that I wanted to do this shorty kind of pep talk episode with you is because I'm seeing this with my coaching clients, and I'm seeing this phenomenon that they're starting to not believe in themselves. Um, it's like they've lied one too many times to themselves and they've let themselves down. So the brain is not trusting them, and they're having a hard time figuring out what is going to be the next best step. So I'm going to make that easy for you.
Quick pause, my friend. It is such an exciting time over here at the Profitable Myofunctional Therapist headquarters as we are eyebrows deep in the rebrand, bringing everything that we teach and offer under one brand umbrella, under one roof, if you will. So you might be listening and thinking, wow, this episode is just for me, but I'm not sure what my next step is. So right now, your next best step, the best place to start is to book an unstuck session with me. You and I will start this important work together the very first time that we meet. We're going to meet on Zoom and we will get clear on where you're at, what's keeping you stuck, and map your smartest next step so that you're not trying to figure out what you should do, or you're not trying to duct tape everything together. So if you're ready for clarity and momentum, book your Get Unstuck session using the link wherever you're listening to this podcast. Now, let's get back to today's episode.
Okay, the first thing that you're going to do if you're listening to this is you're going to determine what stage of business you're in. Setup, planning, building, or scaling. Okay. Setup. So setting up is in setup, there's 2 things that you're working on: getting your clinical training and being confident in that, and then getting your business set up. So that's like your bank accounts, getting your business name, getting that registered with your state, getting insurance, all of that stuff. So if you're trying to figure out what the next best step forward is, and trying to get back in the saddle of being able to honor your word to yourself, you came into this field because you wanted to make a difference. You wanted to earn some money. Maybe you want to work from anywhere. Any one of those things, the end goal is a profitable myofunctional therapy business. Okay, so if you're trying to figure out the next step and you are in the setup stage, then you should either be doing working on your clinical training and setting up your business. You can do both of those things at the same time, by the way, if you're learning. And many of my students inside the Ditch Hygiene Academy, they're doing these at the same time. They're kind of like parallel paths, okay? So if you're in that stage, then that tells you your next step, okay? If you're in the planning stage of your business, this means you are only in the planning stage of your business if you have checked off you're confident in your clinical training and you have checked off that you have your business set up. You've got a bank account open. You have your Stripe account set up. You're insured. You are ready to take money tomorrow if somebody called and told you they wanted to give you some money, okay? So if you are legitimately in your planning season, then your next step is one of three things. First, you're going to nail your who. Who are you going to be marketing to? I don't want you to try and be a myofunctional therapist for the masses. Yes, I know you want to help all the people with mouth breathing, but in today's business climate, you have to get a little more granular to speak to somebody. Do you know that you don't want to work with children, or you do? Yes, you can work with outliers, but remember, we're trying to get granular so that your marketing and your messaging can be easier. So who is your who? Okay. Once you know your who, then you're going to create your unique myofunctional experience, aka creating your irresistible offer, aka what is your prices? Okay. Remember, I don't want you to just have a price. I want you to have a unique myofunctional experience. Set yourself up apart from other people. You don't want anybody to be able to shop. Oh, Susie Q charges this month and Amy Marie charges this month. Okay. Make make comparison impossible. Okay, so you're either nailing your who. If you've got that done, now you're creating your offer. If you've got that done, now you are drafting your marketing plan. How are you going to reach your who? How are you going to be reaching them with your problem solution focused marketing materials to tell them, hey, I can help you? Okay. Um, Also, when you're drafting your plan, it has to be something that's going to be realistic for you. So that helps you discern your next best step if you are in your planning season. Okay, and if you're in your building season, so that means that you have already set up your business. That means you know who your who is. You know exactly what your offer is. You have a marketing plan. Then you are ready for building. So in building, you're going to be implementing your marketing plan. My friend, you're going to do this for days, weeks, months, and maybe even years. Okay. You're going to sell your product. You're going to deliver to your client. You're going to build your operations, your systems, your routines, and automation. So, in the building season, you're going to be here for a while. Now, you might go from the building season back to the planning season. You're never going to go back to setup, really. Okay. Um, so, you might switch seasons, and that's going to also inform what you should be doing. But right now, for the purpose of this episode, if you have already nailed your who, you know how much your prices are, you know all of that stuff, you know what your marketing plan is, then in your building season, you're going to be implementing that marketing plan. 90% of your time should be spent there. You're not spending time on tasks that don't move the needle. The marketing is going to bring in revenue, okay? Creating letterhead or spending a ton of time making graphics for Instagram, not so much. Okay. You need to be marketing and selling, which is such a hard thing for some people. But all you're doing, you're not selling somebody a junky old car. You're selling somebody a solution to their pain point, and they have already raised their hand and said, hey, I have this problem. So then if you're in that position, or if you're in this season, then you're delivering it to your client. So that's getting amazing results for them. Number one, so they tell other people. That is your free marketing. It's fabulous. You want it. Also, the practitioners, their doctors are going to see how good you are, and they're going to want to refer to you as well. And then the last little bit of stuff you should be working on, a little at a time, okay, is building out your systems and your standard operating procedures, routines, automations, that kind of stuff. You're building this, you're going to have multiple iterations, but you're kind of building this as you go. And you'll get better and better with time. So in the building season, 90% marketing, that gives you 10% to do this other stuff. So I don't want you spending 100% of your time one week setting up systems and all that stuff because you need to be on to work on marketing. Okay, so you're going to make a marketing plan, but the hardest part where people lack the discipline is actually implementing and doing the plan. So if that hit you, if you have just felt stuck and just kind of feel like you fell off the wagon or fell out of the saddle, whatever it is, this should give you a little bit of direction to figure out where you should be going. So like I said, I just wanted this to be short, sweet, and be a little kick in the pants. And you're going to feel it in your gut or in your heart if I was talking to you. So, my friend, that is all I have for you. Your homework is to go figure out what that step is. Okay. Figure out what season you're in and what you need to be doing. If you need help with this, book your unstuck call, because even if you are already trained, but you don't know what to do, you and I are going to have a conversation. We're going to identify a few ways that you can start moving forward. It also gives you the ability to meet me and see how I coach for business, because this is how a lot of already trained therapists come into my coaching program. Is we meet, I give them a free coaching session, I give them homework, I give them a direction for them to get going, and they start to see the ball rolling. So it kind of puts some wind in their sails. So also, if you're not trained and you're trying to figure out what training program you're going to do, you can't start your confident clinical training if you're not in a great program. So we will talk about that too. So wherever you're listening to this, book that call. Okay, my friend, that is all I have for you today. Hopefully, my next episode, I will be back home in my podcast studio. I will be sad to be away from my little grandbabies and the puppy, but I will be back home soon in my studio, which I think will sound a whole lot better. Anyhow, thank you for bearing with me. Until next time, go build a life that you were bonkers about. I will be back soon to teach you how to start, grow, and simplify your myofunctional therapy business.
I hope you loved today's episode, friend. I pray that it lifted you up, motivated you, and taught you something. If so, would you stop right now and go to Apple Podcasts and leave us a review? And lastly, make sure you've joined the Profitable Myofunctional Therapist Facebook community. Links to all the goodies can be found wherever you're listening to this podcast. That's it for now. Cheering you on, my friend, and we'll chat soon.